The views and opinions expressed on this panel are those of this panel and are for entertainment purposes only. Do not, and I repeat, do not try this at home. And don't whine in the comments when you don't like it. We don't care. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Commission Review. We have a very dramatic episode of Family Empire Houston. We have the Queen, Receipt Queen, Dina, aka Christine, in the building. We got Ebby Reviews, the no nonsense, I don't give up about BS.com. Ebby Reviews here as well. Miss Dina, can we have a quick recap? Hello, ladies.
Okay, let me see. Let me go to my notes. All right. So Chris negotiated his good deal with like a 60-day probation tryout period. Jamisha takes Aunt Cheryl and Charlotte to Charlotte's knee surgery, and they discuss
Oh,
the
wait, Mama.
land.
I think
That's last week.
That's last week, Mama.
Oh, well, damn. I watched the wrong episode. My bad. I surely did.
I was confused as soon as she said
Because okay, so I missed the one. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
You know what? I sure did watch the wrong episode. My bad. I'm just here for shits and giggles at this point.
I hate you. This is the one I know Dina would have a lot of 2 cents on. I know she would because it's family. Okay, so
I'll catch you in. I'll catch you in.
I know. Okay, so that shit got me weak. So the last episode, we'll get into that later, but Nikki, they always kind of arguing, and Mama Oscarine hit her finger, on the table and said, "Y'all chill out." That was the last thing that we saw. Nikki jumped in and said, "Nobody's a developer here or anything." So Aunt Nikki was like, "I'm the one representing Mama and everybody else, so we done this conversation." Jermisha and the Queen's mama says the house sister always got something to say. Y'all forgive me if I sound a little funny. My teeth are affected. I have surgery coming up on the 4th. I'm on medicine. So if I sound a little Elmer Fuddish, y'all just, is what it is. I'm on my damn tongue right now. Okay. So anyway, I couldn't open my mouth the other day. It was really bad. So one of the things that we talked about last time, me and Eb, and I think Dina was here for the conversation. We were trying to figure out, was she married to his mom or not? Well, Frank, everybody's mom is coming out saying that he had 2 girlfriends. There was not a wife involved. So Nicole's mom and Keisha's mom were his girlfriend. Nobody was married. Okay. So Nicole wanted to have a talk with Joy about the whole Keisha thing. And it's funny because when she's talking to Keisha about how, look, I was with your dad. It was up to your dad. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. But then she's throwing shade to her sister. And what I caught from it, Ebony, I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I felt like she felt the way because her sister brought in Keisha to their lives, to their family, and she was still pissed off at Frank for having the baby outside their relationship. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like she kind of got that brunt of that, and that wasn't fair to Keisha. What do you think, Ebony?
Okay, so I have a lot of big feelings about this episode, and 90% of them is at Bubba because this is only his fault. All of this is all of his fault. First of all, and I'm kind of upset with the sister. Now, I understand that y'all family this and family that. However, That was not your situation to insert yourself into. However, Bubba was going to carry it was how it needed to be carried. You taking it upon yourself to go get that other child to your house because you know you couldn't bring the child to Bubba because he had the child on that girl. So you knew it was a lot of turmoil and stuff. And instead of minding your business and waiting for your brother to smooth out the waters and stand and be a man and do what he's supposed to do in regards to his children, you took it upon yourself to go get that girl and bring her. Nobody asked you to do that. And I feel like it was inappropriate of you to do so.
Okay, so Dina,
Now
I'm
it's
gonna.
30 years later
Oh,
and we
okay.
can't do nothing about it now. But you couldn't have been my sister and taking it upon yourself to go get my man's outside child and bring the child. Girl,
Okay, so okay,
I'd
I
be
have a lot.
done.
Of, I have a lot. I
I'd
got
beat up
feelings
on
about it too.
everybody.
I do. So Dina.
Everybody. And everybody got to catch a fade. Bubba got to catch a fade. The sister got to catch a fade. Everybody catch a fade. Because until we just make a decision about what we want to do and how we going to proceed forward,
Mhm.
I understand the child ain't got nothing to do with it. And all of that is cute.
Oh.
However, comma, no
Hmm.
ma'am. No,
Okay,
ma'am.
I would
That is for
not.
that man to do, to stand up and be a man and cop to what he has done and then rectify the situation. It was not for them sisters to jump in and decide they want to do whatever they wanted to do. And I see a lot of it with that family.
Hmm.
It feels like that happens a lot where you feel differently than how I feel about the situation. So you want to do what you want to do about the situation and just fuck my feelings about it. Because that's how it came off to me. But I could be wrong.
Okay, Dina, add your channel, Mama. Dina, add your channel.
Is everybody
Okay.
on mute? Can nobody
No,
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
I'm here. Dina,
Now why can't I hear nothing, Jesus? Jehovah?
I can hear. Can you hear me, Dina?
Okay, I can hear you now, Kamisha. Can you hear me?
I can hear Dina. I can hear Abby. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. So I can hear everybody. So Dina, what I wanted to you to give a opinion about this part was so
This
we
part
come to
was
find
we come to find
about the
about
auntie.
the
I hear echo in
auntie.
the
I
background.
hear echo in the background.
I hear myself.
So,
Hold on. Dina, how you got connected? Are you in your car?
I just got in the car. I'm trying to
Okay.
do
Gotcha.
what you asked me to do, and yeah.
Oh, if you can't do it, Mama, don't worry about it. I mean, I know you in your car because I can hear echoes. I'm not sure because of how you where the audio coming through, but I hear myself.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm trying to
Okay,
get
no
back.
problem.
I can only do one thing at a time. I'm trying to get back to my earpods and stream to my channel, Mama.
Okay. Well, just hear me, Mama, till you get that together. I'll go ahead and get my P and I'll tell you what
Well,
the
I
T is
can't
and we
'cause
talking
in the other
about. Okay.
asked me to go to. I'm stuck on the screen. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. So I'm gonna give my opinion because Abby brought a little bit. Well, she always does this to me, where not in a bad way, where she'll give me different thoughts about what I was gonna say. I love that about our conversation. So for me, I was looking at both sides. Okay, so of course, Joy is the one, obviously going through the heartbreak and blah blah blah. Yes, I do agree that Frank, at the end of the day, he is the one that should have had this narrative set. Whatever's going to be is going to be. Just the same way Jaquita's mother and dad decided they had some outside children and they brought those kids into their lives, right? So I get what Ebby is saying with that. But I also understand that Jaquita's sister, I don't know what the reason why behind it, but for me, I would struggle if I knew my brother had a kid and I saw this kid all the time or whatever, and knowing this is my niece and I have children as well. The whole thing was that Keisha stayed with Jaquita them because they all were the same age or whatever. But the way they looked at like we're family, why do I have to not get to know my niece? Why can't my niece not be a part of this family? So I so get what Abby is saying by staying in your business, staying in your place, and it was on Frank Bubba, Uncle Bubba, to handle that as a man. But I could not look at my niece and not be involved. Not at least get to know my niece. You can't tell me I can't get to know my niece because you are mad and you are hurt at that man because he cheated on you. So that reason why I can't get to know my niece, I'm supposed to wait on y'all to get together.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all that. I'm just saying for me, if but for one thing, I'm not sure how it was handled between the two of them. If that's my sister, I am going to come to her and tell her what I'm doing, respectfully. I'm going to come to her and tell her, I'm just letting you know, I get y'all are hurt, going through whatever, but that baby didn't ask for that. I'm letting you know she's going to stay with me until y'all get whatever y'all get together. But I'm going to introduce her to the family. I want her to know all of it. I want her to feel the love that we feel. She's being ostracized and don't know what's going on. That's not right to me. That's my opinion.
Okay, so first of all, oh God, we would be fighting if we were sisters.
Hey, it's all good, baby. It would be. It'd be thrown out and drugged out, baby. We would be.
Sure would be. We would come on
I ain't
out
got
to
no hair to
Brad.
pull. I ain't
Come
got
on
hair
out
to
to
pull.
Brad.
We just be scrubbing.
Listen, me neither. I'm gonna take my wig
You
off before we even
stupid.
get started. So don't even, don't even look at a thing.
Oh my God, I can't stand.
My thing is
Mhm, mhm.
that you have to take into consideration that that baby is a reminder of the fact that you stepped out on me. And
Mhm.
every day I got to look at this little girl's face. It's just another reminder of the fact that you stepped out on me. So for that lady to have a tough time accepting that little girl is understandable.
Mhm.
Listen,
Mhm.
and if you like, oh, I could accept da 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 da. First of all, couldn't it wouldn't have been no relationship at that point with me. If you is stepping out on me and then you have a baby on me, at that point the relationship is over. I don't no thank you, return to sender. I don't want it. We are no longer together. We
Mhm.
can co-parent, and I'll make sure that the children know your side of the family, but you and I, sir, there is no longer any relationship to be had, because I don't because that's because everybody line in the sand is different, and apparently my line in the sand is different from these ladies in this family line in the sand, because apparently there's a lot of outside children, according to the aunties. There's a
Look.
bunch of family relationships and outside children, and y'all okay with the outside children. It's one thing where the girl said, "Oh, before I met him, from a previous relationship, he had a son when I met him." That's one thing.
Okay.
But me and you are in a relationship, and then you come to me and say this girl is 3 months pregnant and we've been together for 2 years. That is a problem. And then our relationship is over. And you ain't got to worry about me. You can bring your baby wherever you want to, because you know who not gonna be pressed about it? Me. Because you know who not gonna be dealing with the situation? Me. Because we gonna co-parent our children, and then you can come get your kids and take them to see your family whenever you get ready, but please stay out my face and keep that little girl away from me. The end. Now the kids can play together. If you pick up your baby, your side baby, then you come to get these kids and you take them down to your mama house, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna mix and mingle.
Right.
Not
Right. And
until
right.
and I'm not gonna mix and mingle until
Mhm.
I get to the point where I can heal myself from the hurt that you've done to me. Because I'm going to be hurt. And I don't want to be mean or resentful to that little girl, because the little girl ain't got nothing to do with it. So
Right.
I got to take a step back, heal myself, and make sure that I'm okay before I can accept that this little girl is now my children's sibling. And then I can try and contact the mom and we can co parent. And you want to take the kids on to go to Disney World, and you take all three, or I'm taking my girls to Disney World and I want to take baby girl with. They're all the same age. I'm gonna take baby girl with me so they can all enjoy Disney World together. But it's gonna take me a minute and sitting on somebody's sofa and talking about it and making sure that I'm good, because and make sure that I can reconcile the situation with my mind, heart, and body and spirit before I can introduce and do those type of things. So it would be a separate co-parenting situation until I've healed myself from wanting to stab you every time I see you when you come to pick up your girl.
Okay. Yeah, I get Abby. I get that. Let me ask Dina. I want to get her opinion. So they all was talking around the table. Come to find out that Jaquita's mama was taking Keisha to her house, and Joy, the girl, wasn't even allowed over there. She felt like Jaquita's mama was messy. She's worried about her own outside baby instead of worrying about her relationship. Jaquita's mom looking like, I don't care what I got going through. I just saw a child that wasn't part of our family, don't know nothing about it. The DNA test proved that she is kin to us, I want to bring her in the fold. Now, what's your opinion,
Who?
Dina? Dina.
Oh, okay. So y'all know I got a similar situation to this, except there's no like overlapping. My daddy got 5 kids by 4 different women, so that alone creates tension. We all lived in different households. Sometimes I was in a different state. They all grew up here in
Hmm.
Kansas, so that alone creates tension. Now, when you do add the overlapping, because like I said, I didn't see that part, but from what y'all say, they was together 2 years and now all of a sudden somebody was pregnant. But you have to take into consideration we need to know some more definition on we was together for 2 years. Y'all was living in the same household or y'all was going on dates, because a lot of times even now people are in relationships but the other person ain't in a relationship. Okay, so it's like, yeah, we together when we together, and when we not together, I'm free to do move around the country, so to speak. A lot of people think that way. So you got to figure out the mind frame of. And I really don't like this term outside kid, because they
Hmm.
wasn't married and maybe they
Right.
got married later on.
I don't think
And I
Dina, hold on. I
understand.
don't think they got married, but the sister is why everybody's upset because the fact that she had, well, not everybody, because the fact that she had a little girl come stand over there, and everybody's like saying the
And
sister's wrong.
I understand where Evie is coming from,
Okay.
but at the same time, the kids didn't ask to be here, right?
Hmm.
And here's my thing: if they were, affluent or whatever, and let's say her mama was not, I don't think it would be fair for Keisha to have less than they had, because the daddy was out there acting a fool. Like, hey, if they don't, because clearly she ain't have a whole lot of family. Now she did mention she had a brother in the one episode, right? But
Yeah. Hmm.
she's saying she don't have a whole lot of family. So and then her mom passed. So this is now, besides the brother, all the family that she got. So what I'm saying is, even if we're not talking financial, less than meaning the support system, less
Right.
than meaning I can go kick it with my cousins on the weekend, less than meaning, somebody can pick me up from school if my mama not available, take me to go get ice cream, less than. These things are important to a healthy childhood. Just knowing you have a support system, somebody to depend on, somebody besides your mom and daddy love you, all those type of
Right.
things.
Hmm.
So that's what I say, excuse me, when I mean less than. Like, so if she had less than in a number of different ways, whether it's financial, emotional, or
Okay.
whatever, I see where somebody would be like, well, dang, she just sit in the house with her mama all the time. She don't, her mom, maybe her mama was an only child. She don't have no cousins. She just got her, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, hey, this girl is lacking in some area, in the family area. Why not bring her in?
Hmm.
Again, like I said, taking even that out of the equation, the fact that when a man has multiple children by multiple women, there's always going to be some discord, even if there was no overlapping. Because it's 2 years between me and my next sister, it's 10 years, 19 years, I don't know, 17 years, then 19 years for my brother. So there was no overlapping, but at the same time, we all got different mamas except for two of us. So that creates some, okay, who's going to spend the night over whose house? Oh, we all gonna
Oh
meet up
wow.
at Granny's house. Oh,
Hmm.
well, she mad at your daddy, so you can't spend the night over
Hmm.
there. She don't like your mama, so you can't spend the night over there. So all of that gets created,
That's a
right?
lot.
And then a child doesn't understand why I can't go.
And I can't imagine that, especially the mama got to tell that child. Well, everybody, you see all the cousins. I've said it before, and you all the cousins are leaving, but you see one cousin not going. You hear in the car, oh, she don't like so and so. As a child, you don't know what's happening, and then they do make independent cousins also. It really
And
do.
not only that, you have to take it also into consideration adults talk and they think kids don't listen or
Come on now.
understand, but they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel the difference in the treatment. Like, oh hey baby, what do you want? Versus, oh well, the drinks and food is over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes it's not even intentional. It's just, just like when you go to work, you got that one coworker, hey girl, I'm going to Starbucks. You want something? Then you got that other coworker that be like, hey, I want something, and you just be like, all right, what you want?
Right.
you know
Oh, I ain't
so
got
get
enough.
it, or it's just, oh well, or you paying for one coworker, but you be like, all right, give me your $6. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's sometimes it's intentional and sometimes it's not, but it's just your body and chemistry reacts to people a certain way based on how you feel about them in your heart or your mind, and it just is what it is.
Because see, when Frank told Joy that, that she was pregnant, she requested a DNA test. She said she would never deny the child, but she just was, was waiting to see what Frank was going to do, kind of along the lines of what Abby was saying when I was saying two things could be right. As a woman, she going through a lot. Her man cheated. It's a baby there. Is that really your kid? It's a lot. I get what Keisha's saying, like, okay, but I was a kid. But just like Nicole hopped up and said, my mom didn't ask for this either. She didn't ask to be cheated on. She didn't ask for any of this. So to me, it's a lot of hurt around everybody. But Keisha is just straight angry. You could just tell on almost all these things. It is a lot of hurt behind it, but she just pissed because she has these questions and they're not being answered. So then we jump to the point when she's talking about Jaquita and her mom. So Jaquita was straight up and said, Jamisha and Jaquita's mom straight up and said, hey, there was an outside or whatever they called it, another child that the father had, and we knew about him. He would come hang out for Christmas, but everybody's family is different. And this is something that happened during their relationship, apparently. So it's just how you handle it. Joy wasn't about that. She, like Abby said, she didn't want to see a child. She didn't want nothing to do with it. Because even there, I was shocked. Was like, well, Keisha couldn't go over there. Well, why Keisha couldn't go over there? Y'all really asking that? I don't know.
Exactly. I don't understand because two and y'all adding two and two and getting 15. Because I don't know what the hell y'all talk about. What you mean you don't understand why she couldn't come over here? What you mean you don't understand? Just because y'all okay with your nigga doing anything with his dick and just bringing anything back to the house, don't mean that that's how it work in my house. That's
Jesus.
not how it works. Now
Mm.
y'all have to forgive me because that's my fidelity is my line in the sand and it makes me angry. It makes me very angry that all the women are left to deal with the aftermath of the
Mhm.
decisions that this man made, and it doesn't feel like anybody is holding this man's feet to the fire
Well,
because this is
Keisha,
his fault.
right. It is. And all the sisters said that. And even the thing about it is, his own sister said it. They are against him and they for him. But Keisha is holding Frank, and she don't call him number Frank. And she's going to go at him
Well, if he
this
ain't never
next
been a
episode.
daddy, what you
No,
expect?
I didn't mean like I'm questioning. I'm saying she's the one. I feel like that is the one that's gonna hold his feet.
Mm-hmm.
She's her most of her anger to me. A lot of it is towards him because he is the fault of a lot of it. He seems so nonchalant. I don't know, but he seems so walking and chill. And Joy, her anger is towards him as well. I know Nicole has her own feelings, but the sisters, I swear, I used to watch my grandmother had 16 children. Let me tell you something. I saw the women how they came at the brothers, if they acted a fool, whatever it might be, 'cause they were doing all kind of stuff. And them sisters, man, they didn't care if they you my brother. They would tell them what it is. I'm not saying that they didn't do him like that, but so many sisters like that. I'm just surprised that it would. Well, it probably was like, what you doing out here? You got babies and stuff. Well, they didn't
Hmm.
all they didn't all come at him crazy. Like, what are you doing out here? You got a whole baby out here. Joy's upset. It probably was a lot going on when Joy and all them were little when that was happening. I can't
Well,
imagine.
here's the thing. A lot of people don't
But listen,
understand how to have the conversation.
couldn't be me.
They don't
The
understand how to
relationship would be
have the
over because
conversation.
I
Hold on, you
can't
have to-
I can't put on the happy face while you openly disrespecting me. I can't.
what you saying, Dina? Go ahead, Mama.
Oh, I was just people don't know how to understand. People don't understand how to have the conversation and work
Mhm.
through their differences. It's really up to Frank to
I
be
can't hear
like,
Dina. Can you hear her?
Mm-hmm. I can hear her.
can you
Oh,
you can't
can
I,
hear
you
me?
just not?
no, I can hear you, Dina.
Oh, okay. They don't understand how to have the
I can't
conversation.
hear Dina. Okay, hold on.
It's
Okay.
uh it's
Let
up
me
to
leave and go
Frank.
back.
Okay.
It's up to Frank to set the standards
Hmm.
and whatnot of the
Right.
family.
Yes.
So he should have been man enough to say, "Hey, you know
Yep.
what? Yes, I have well, I don't like that term.
I know
I
you don't.
had another child with
Right.
another woman while I was in a relationship with Joy.
Yes.
Okay, this is my child, DNA test done, and I need y'all to love on her like
Agreed.
y'all would any other one of my kids. But because he didn't do that, a lot of the family was like, okay, where does my loyalty lie? Does it lie with my brother? Does
There
it
you
lie
go.
with Joy?
Hmm.
Do I see about this kid, and how is that going to make the other family members feel? You know what I'm saying? So if he would have just stepped up and said, y'all need to embrace this child, then there would have been no question. There would have been no sneaking around. There would have been none of that. And then Keisha probably would have been with the family a lot earlier in
Then
life,
7 years
because
old.
then 7 years old.
Right.
And at 7 years old, like, they talk about the impressionable ages of the kids,
Hmm.
when they're like, I believe 5 but and under or whatever, where she's thinking like, do my daddy come around? Like she said, she thought her brother's daddy was her daddy
That's
until she
crazy.
was 7. So then you got all these different emotions and trying to figure out why, oh, I got this whole other family over here. And then there's the dynamic of, oh, okay, well, I thought this was my daddy, but he's not my daddy. So how am I supposed to feel about my daddy? But I had all these cousins, aunties, uncles, and whatever over here. So now how am I supposed to feel about them? Like, that's a lot of different emotions and for a child to try to figure out, which could be avoided. Now, like I said, I had a similar situation. My ex-husband had numerous kids before I got with him, and we don't put, truth be told, he had a couple more after. Okay, and so, but I never treated none of them kids indifferent. I could look at his ass like I wanted to stab him on a regular basis, but I treated them kids just like I pushed them out myself, because they ain't asked to be here, and they daddy was out in the streets acting wild, and I ain't want that on my conscience. But I totally get what Ebby says, but
Hmm.
I was in a different place at the time, personally, where I
Okay.
love kids. I wanted a lot of kids. I can't afford them. I was like, shoot, I ain't got to push them out or pay for them, and they can come over on the weekend, and I can feed them, and we can laugh and play Uno and have a good time, and this is that and the third, and then I can send them back home. Oh, bet. That's the life. I
Hmm.
mean, there's one point in time I had so many kids in my house, I ain't know who they all belonged to.
Oh Jesus.
But
Return to
again,
sender. I don't want it.
but then again, that's what I'm saying. I'm in a different headspace
Hmm.
because but Abby said too, the kid don't deserve it. She had to work through hers. I was kind of already working through mine, only because I came from a situation where, as a child, either I was treated differently. I had an older sister that wasn't my dad's that was treated differently. The different dynamics from where I came from. I didn't want those kids to feel like, oh, we go over to Miss Dina house and she treat us differently, because I've experienced that, and I wouldn't want any other kid to experience that. So that's where the mind
Gotcha.
frame I was in
Hmm.
my situation.
Because see, the thing about it, kids will repeat. I've seen us cousins, myself included, cousins will go against each other and repeat what the adults say. We're beefing and fighting, but literally we're just repeating what our parents and everybody else say. So at the end of the day, like you were saying, Dina, the kids listen to everything the grown folks say and come up with their own mess. It's all a bad situation all around, to be honest.
Listen,
And about right or wrong in my.
Yes,
Dina,
right.
I understand completely. I got it on both sides. Well, my husband didn't bring no outside children, but my father supposedly had an outside child
Hmm.
after me and my sister. To this, I he had a vasectomy, so he just took on the responsibility of that little girl, and she is under the mistaken impression that she is related to us, and she is not.
Right.
Therefore, what no mixing and mingling of family situation. She can't come over here.
Mm-mm.
She's under the mistaken impression that she's our sibling, and she's not. And we not gonna play the radio for that little girl. We
Right.
not.
And
We not
I
finna do that.
100% get that. I'm just saying when you try to break generational curses, hurt people.
Yes.
So I'm saying in my situation, because I felt some type of way as a child growing up with all these different multiple siblings by multiple other women,
Mm-hmm.
that when I was in a relationship and I had to deal with additional children, I treated it the way I would have wanted to be treated as a
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
child.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said we're coming from two different places. Now, had you might have experienced something that I experienced, you might feel differently about this situation. I don't think you feel differently about this other outside kid, because that definitely was an outside kid. But I just feel like because people go through certain experiences later on in
Mm-hmm.
life, they can be a little bit more
Enlightened. Mm-hmm.
in. That's all.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I
Everybody.
agree.
Everybody is the amalgamation of everything that they have gone through in this life up until this point. And because we have walked similar but different paths, then we view the situation from the lens of what we've been through.
Exactly.
And I know for me, because of how my parents' marriage was dissolved, attacked, and dissolved,
Mm. Wow.
that is why fidelity is such a hard line in the sand for me. Now, I have seen other people who have had infidelity in their marriage, and they be able to forgive and reconcile, and it
Right,
be like
right,
they
right.
all of those wonderful things. And I pray longevity and reconciliation for their marriages and all of those good things. But I know, as for me and my house, you got to get your shit and get out. Because here's what I'm not finna do. I'm not finna do the anything. If you stood before the Lord and my family and promised me that you would be with only me until we both leave from out of this earth, and you do something different, at that point, either I'm gonna have to kill you or you got to go.
Oh
One of the
no.
two gonna have to happen.
I love
Right.
about
That's
it.
how.
Y'all come from two different journeys. The two of you guys, what is interesting for me, because a lot of the time I feel like the babies who are involved, the kids who are involved, whether it be the sibling, like Ebby was saying, that her dad, da da da, or Dina, who wish she wanted that attention. It's just interesting how the kids have so many different experiences, but yet
Mm,
that don't really get touched on a lot. It's more about the parents. Ooh, that person hurt me and da da da. But it's like y'all don't know that's trickling down to them
wait,
kids.
and to speak to what Evie just said, for her, cheating and outside kids is like her line in the sand. And I'm not saying that I condone cheating, because, but I'm saying as in previous relationships as a younger adult, it wasn't a big deal to me. It is now, but at
Mhm,
that time, I was in that I'm just happy I got a husband phase.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I let a lot of things slide. But I let a lot of things slide because my daddy was like, hey, he had women upon women, and it was always the last woman standing. So I felt like the whoever stayed the longest, did the most, was most egregious, blah blah blah, would end up with the man in the long run. That whole struggle love marathon. I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stand by my man. Now that was
My
in my
man, my
20s.
man.
That
Mhm.
was in my 20s, not now. But that's where I was based on what I saw. So just like Evie said, based on what she saw, and people don't understand based on what you see. They could never argue, they could never nothing, but you see things and you understand what that means without them sitting down and telling you exactly what's going on. And people don't understand. Kids see a lot. They're a lot smarter than people give them credit for.
And
Absolutely.
that's the craziest thing that you said. A lot of time people don't realize kids are paying attention. They're so smart. They think kids don't know what's going on. Ooh and all. And I can't be hidden from him for 20 years, baby. You know the whole time them babies didn't know about that. They been knew about that. Y'all just didn't know they knew
Mm,
it. Y'all know how. So anyway, so uh Jaquita and Chris go out to eat tacos, and Keisha and Caramel come around and start talking about what happened at the rodeo situation. And she finally found out that pretty much Keisha was saying that Joy was talking about her mama. And the thing about it, then Jaquita starts to say that Chris had a baby already, and she brought the child into their lives, even though he had a child not outside their relationship, but a baby, a previous they already had, like Amber
Mm-hmm.
mentioned earlier. Different situation, but she still brought up to say she still wanted to take care of his child, even though the baby is not his. So there was a see right even that moment when she was like, I didn't want to say who, she immediately knew she was talking about because she said my dad had children outside their relationship, and that person was a part that's was a part of our lives, holidays and get-togethers. But I don't think everybody's gonna do the same exact thing. Jaquita's mama, that was her decision to do that. She felt more
Mm-hmm.
comfortable opposed to Joy, who obviously did not feel the same way. Y'all just two different people. That's really all that is. But I think they should have had a bond over that than the beef. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why they didn't have a bond because I'm not sure the situation is
It's
how it went down. You know what I'm
because
saying?
it
But I'm
felt
saying
like it was undermining how she felt about the situation. Well, just because you okay with bringing in the outside child into your family, you just assume that it's okay for the same thing to happen over at my house. And fuck how I feel about it. You gonna do whatever you want to do anyway, regardless of how I feel. That's where the disconnect is coming from. And um Chris having a child by somebody else in a previous relationship is completely different from you and Chris been married for 6 years and he come to you on some fences stuff, talk about with a brand new baby, talk about this is my child, a mama died in childbirth and we just gonna have to raise the baby. Excuse me? What you mean? No, nigga, you is now a single father. Take that baby and y'all go and hit the road. I don't know what to tell you or why you thought that this was
Lord
gonna be
Jesus, not hit the road, Jack.
hit
And
the
don't
road.
you come back.
No more, no more, no. Come on now, like I can't.
Hit it and hit it hard. That's the best I know
Oh
to tell
shit.
you. Hit it
Well,
and hit it hard. Cause you can't come to me. It's two different things. If I meet you and you was like and I'm like, oh, do you have kids? And we start dating and I have to accept the fact that you have a child and then that now I have a bonus kid because you had a kid when I met you. So
mm,
it's nothing for me to be like, okay, we gonna bring the child in your house because what you're not gonna be on my time is a deadbeat daddy. Not when
Right.
I got not like if you
right.
come to me and I got kids and you got kids, as much as you see my kids who live in the house, if we live together, as much as you see my kids because we together and they my kids and I have custody of them and they're in our house 24/7, that's how you need to see the kids that's not in our house. I need to see your kids every week. You need to be with your children every week. You need to be a parent.
This is what I'm
You
saying.
need to
At the end of the
co-parent
day,
your child.
the children at the end of the day to me are innocent as Virgo be Virgoing said in the chat. At the end of the day, those are the ones who are gonna be hurt and all things. Not saying adults don't, but to me, they always the one who are forgotten because the parents' feelings are more important, whether they admit it or not. Parents act like their feelings are more important than what the kids going through. It's so much that happen they don't even know about. So anyway, so I want to move on to
Listen, sometimes your feelings do be a little bit
uh,
more important than them children because you got to get yourself together first. You can't pour from an empty cup, and they tell you on the plane, put the
that's
oxygen mask
fine,
on
but
yourself
we can't
first
be 30 years later
before
talking
you.
about the same shit.
I
Though that
didn't.
means that we
I
ain't do
didn't.
that. I
I
mean, it's
didn't
just
say
crazy.
I didn't say 30 years later, but I'm saying you do have to take some time and get yourself together so that you make sure that you're not doing like you pushing a kid down the stairs accidentally on
Oh
purpose because they
no.
in your house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
You
god.
gotta get
No, okay, so every okay, yeah, yeah, I get you on that. If you're trying to get them together first and get your mind right, cool. But I'm saying not what you're not saying that you're saying this. I'm saying, but 30 years later, it's crazy. Like I mean,
that
look what's
lady is
happening.
still hurt. That lady
So
is still
no, no,
hurt,
no. She
honey.
has. I'm not saying you're gonna get over the hurt. Don't. I'm not saying you're gonna get over the hurt. But again, to be able to be a point to have a child be raised, like Gina said, not to miss all those key points in the child's life, you have to get over some of it, or at least try to get them together to make sure your kids are okay, at least as well, because you have your own children to raise. So I just feel like at some point in time, what you're saying is right, and what Dina's saying is right. They all go together. But I'm just saying, 30 years later, this child is talking like, I mean, I'm sorry, she's adult now. talking about her feelings as a child, questions that had never been answered, and all this mess going on with the sisters. I'm just saying, that's come on. You ain't gonna never give up no hurt, but you still
Now,
gotta
Miss,
be. You gotta go
now,
through life. You gotta raise your
right,
kid.
I get that point, and I believe Miss Ma'am has done some work for her to come to the little girl and apologize to her. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what she was apologizing for, but because we didn't really get a clear answer on what the apology was for, but she was big
Yeah,
enough
we
to say,
didn't.
"Listen, I'm sorry." And um I don't know if it's because of the way she was treated or she was brought
Mm-hmm.
into the
Mm-hmm.
family late or what. I don't know what she's apologizing to that baby for, but she was big enough to say, you know what, I as an adult need to tell you now as an adult, I am sorry for the way that I treated you because I was wrong and I was hurt. So I took it out unfairly on you. But what I need all of them to do is I need all of them women from that family to get in a big circle and whoop Bubba's ass because this
I
is
knew it was
all of his
coming.
fault. This all his fault.
Lord Bubba, Jesus, you better run, Bubba, run. But I said that kind of earlier, but not exactly like that. Didn't knew where I was coming from when I was saying, cause my aunties was man, I used to see my aunties with her with their brothers. I mean, my brothers as far as my uncles, they did not play. I wanted to Nicole real quick. They showed Nicole getting her hair done by Noah in the beauty shop. Now, Dina, you didn't see the episode because well, you know you did see it actually. You watched the episode, but me and Ebony was talking about how Oscarine had to slap her hand on the counter to get everybody to be quiet. And poor little Monet said, "Well, what about the beauty shop? You a grandchild." We was like, to me that scene is still hilarious. But
They they told her shut up. Shut up, go over there and wash them greens and be quiet until somebody talks to you.
she was looking like a deer cut the hell. Like, oh, because everybody got quiet. Like, I can't believe she said something. And about the beauty shop. But she's saying she's the only one involved with it. Just listen to her side. She's saying she's the only one involved with it. It's gonna go. She says it's gonna go to Jaquita's mom, and they have nothing to do with it. So Monet is like, I'm the only one that runs it, probably cleans it, the whole thing. So just hearing her say that, I'm like, okay,
She the
why
only
is
one
it?
doing hell.
So the one I'm saying, but why is it gonna go to Jaquita's mom? I wonder instead of Monet and Nicole's mom, when Monet is the one that pretty much runs the shop. I mean, I just was wondering. It,
I
it
don't
did. It
know.
was a good question. It was a good question.
It's a good question. Somebody need to ask Miss Oscarine.
Maybe not. She hit that table. Monet probably scared to ask. She heard her say. She said, "Look, she probably ain't gonna never ask that again." Oh Lord! But they was talking about Keisha and the mom and all that stuff. Look. Nicole said we can't get to a healthy place. Nicole, I think is kind of not saying she's tired of talking about it, but she because there's no resolve in it. I think that's why Nicole is kind of like we need to be healthy. As if we're talking about it, but nothing productive is happening. We just going back and forth. So I do get what kind of what she's saying.
This Oscarine got is too astute of a businesswoman not to have a will already laying her wishes out. So all of this bickering back and forth and going back and forth about who's getting what, this should already be detailed in her will. And I feel like uh everybody they don't know what's in the will. And that's why all this conversation is happening about who's
Mm.
getting what and what's doing what to whom and all these other things. What the estate planning say?
Well, that's also another good question as well. The thing about it, grandmother said we shutting this whole situation down. Speaking of that, she don't like to argue and all that, and I kind of knew how she was looking when she hit her hand when everybody came in with their opinion. She said, "I'm done with it. Nobody's involved. I'm selling it. I'm selling it. I ain't got nothing to do with it." She was just frustrated about it. I already knew that Jermisha was gonna be hurt because she been, working on it for the past 3 weeks, going whatever how long it's been. And she just said she's gonna push through and keep doing it. That's why Jamisha was saying she didn't want anybody else involved. She wanted to be the only one doing it. So it wasn't too many people coming at Granny. So everything that Jamisha predicted came out to be true. She wanted to be the only one doing it. And so now she said she don't want to do it, but she's still going to pitch what the Shelton say. But one thing I wanted to comment on that Keisha mother and Joy, because I kept thinking that was his wife, and I'm not saying she even says that way. Even on the next episode, the sister says that he said I wasn't married. So I'm not sure where that's coming from with the whole thing with the marriage thing that's being floated around. He's saying they weren't married. The sister said, "But your wife think you married." I'm like, "Whoa, how is there confusion about a marriage?"
Like, is there paperwork?
I'm like, I'm like,
Where is the paperwork?
I was so I'm like, why is there confusion with this? It's
Because they
really
could have
simple.
been at that point. They could have been common law. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Where they've
okay,
been living
okay.
together for years upon years. And so at that point, they're common law married.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then this situation happened. But regardless, you knew you was in a relation, married or not, you knew you was in a relationship with this woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you out here slanging dick.
Oh,
What's going on, sir? Let's let it really, exactly, let's let it really be said. You was irresponsible out here making choices for people.
so yeah, I was okay.
Big
So, so,
facts.
so, I mean, Dina, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that big facts. You know,
I mean, I think Oscar Green she's kind of over it. Like, I mean, I even, people that know people out there, Oscar Green wasn't down for some of this stuff, as far as being on the screen. And I get that as far as, family and my grandma's around. I know she probably would not want a lot of this stuff on TV because y'all gonna act a fool. I could just hear, ancient people, y'all just gonna act a fool on TV. And when all that stuff happened, Oscar Green probably looking there like, if this continue with the property, y'all just gonna argue about it. So I'm gonna make it easy on everybody, and I'm just gonna sell the property. I'm just gonna be done with it.
They might as well, because according to the foster people, it's the same amount of
Oh, the
money
Sheltons.
regardless.
Yep, it is.
Sheltons, whoever the people
The
is,
Sheltons.
they
Hmm.
said it's the same amount of money. So you did all of this trying to wrangle and rearrange and talk about its legacy. I say y'all hold on to that property until it's worth more than the 800.
Oh, that's
I
a good
say I
idea.
I say y'all get ahead of it, because they say they finna gentrify their situation.
Hmm.
Go ahead and start developing on that land. And even though it's gonna be the same amount whether you sell it outright or whether you develop it, in the long run, it's gonna produce more money than if you hold on to it. That's just my feelings. What do I know?
No, I
I
do
don't
think that's
know.
a good idea, but I just think that I think Granny was actually open to doing things on the land and development of it. But I just think she looking at it like, my family finna the food. I'm just not gonna deal with it. Also, I forgot to say that Keisha and Carmela was sitting there. Why in the world Jaquita gonna ask them why it's switched to the other team? I was so dead. I was like, Lord. I mean, because they have kids and things beforehand. And
Cause they saw Mother Oscarine face and they was like, "Oh, she ain't finna go for this." So I switched up.
you stupid. But I was just watching that
They
girl
trying to
ask
stay on
anything.
Granny. They trying to stay in Granny good graces in her will. Child, they ain't thinking about this. Child.
Well, she said she always been different. Well, and I know that she said that Keisha said she never had a problem in the house. Her family knew what she was. I'm not sure about the caramel situation. She really didn't. She told a little bit about her childhood, but nothing about that part. So we have the big crawfish boil where everybody get together and eat, and of course have a good family, dramatic situation like every black family does. No shade. I know people come my comments. I get y'all have y'all own drama too, but when we get together like this, it usually comes out this way. No shade. Whoever one not like what I'm saying, say what you got to say so I can block you. I don't care. But anyway, so so with just like what Abby said, that when the shelter tried to talk those numbers, it wasn't looking too good. It's a mess with that situation. Like, I love Abby's idea saying that just hold on to it until there's more money. But just like the shelters also said that it's not going to be a quick check, it is going to be a long-term investment, kind of going to what Abby was saying as well. So if you're looking for a quick profit, that's not going to happen. But in the future, it probably will be a nice little coin. The problem is Granny won't be here to see that. She's looking at it like, I want to see dividends on it now before I go, especially for my children. Jamisha say her house is the only house that every time something pop up, it happen. Now, with y'all, is this somebody's house y'all always go to whenever there's a holiday function? Abby and Dina.
like say the question one more time.
I'm sorry. Jamisha said that her house is the house. Every time some pop off a family, whatever cooking, her house is where it happens at. And I said that does happen to every family. I said, is there a spot that
Hmm.
y'all go to? Okay.
Yeah, because my dad's house is where everything jumps off, even though there are people in the family that have houses of similar size or bigger
Mm.
or whatever. Everything seems to always pop off at his house.
Abby, you too? it used to be my grandma's house before she died. Every time something happened, we always
Mm-hmm.
did her house. But and then in one
Yeah.
point in time, it was my house. Me and my parents. It was our house. People would come from Louisiana to Texas. We used to have big Thanksgiving get-togethers. Now, I'm working on getting my house for next year. Some have connection issues. I'm working on my house for next year, so my house will be that spot sometime next year to for get-togethers and all kind of things and content. I'm so excited about that. But anyway, so really truly they had the crawfish broil. They really kind of talked about some things again. It didn't get too crazy. It was more of a family get together. It's going to be probably the next episode, to be honest, where it's going to be dicey, super dicey, because Uncle Bubba gonna be saying a whole lot. And I think that we all, Abby and Dina included, have been waiting for Bubba to speak. And on this next episode, I'm sorry, episode sounds so funny. This next episode, Jesus help me. Oh my God. Like a cartoon of his motherfucker, I swear. Anyway, the next episode, he really got a lot to say. And I'm looking so forward to hearing what you guys say because
It's
the
about
sister's gonna say,
time.
I mean it is, but he coming at the to me at Joy, making comments like that wasn't his kid. I mean that wasn't her kid, and da da da. I'm like, wow, it's gonna be ugly because when Keisha's standing up, they have to hold her back. That ain't looking too hot because she coming at Bubba. It's like she want to do something. They have to literally three people are holding her back, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, because she is very hurt. She's crying at the same time. That is never a good thing. Cry and anger, baby. Let me tell you something. It's just never a good outcome. And I okay, so I can when she said let's pray. I'm gonna say this real quick. So I can remember a time, and Laura Anthony don't kill me. I can remember a time where we was all into me and my cousin. It was just a mess. Somebody I ain't gonna say what happened because I wonder if they call me tonight. But all I know, we all were getting into it, and I can just remember my AT came in there was like, everybody, we just go pray. We was like, we get to stop. We all argue. It was a mess, and we all started praying. So when I saw that, it just made me think because that's usually the thing that your auntie would everyone do when a mess is going on. I don't know what's gonna all happen, but but I saw that scene, it flashed me back, and I can't tell all details because I know somebody gonna call me, and I'm not gonna do that. But it was good after she prayed and everything. The argument was done, but I'm just saying. I know y'all got stories too where a bunch of stuff was going on with the family. I'm not sure how y'all aunties jumped in, tried to stop it or whatever, because for her to be held back like that, she wanted to fight her dad. Look like I'm not trying to claim it, but you could just tell how they were holding her back. Like I don't know what she was gonna do, Abby.
She probably finna cuss him, slam him out. Listen, after a while, and you being hurt for so long, you be over it, and you
Mm-hmm.
just anybody can get it at this point, including you, Daddy. Cause I'm sick of it. Now, why this always got to be what it is? Why this always got to be what it is?
Mm-hmm. After good food and some good alcohol, everybody ready to squab. I mean, full. I don't know what. And I'm not saying squab like put her hands on him. I'm just saying like it was
Hmm.
intense. Dina probably got stories as well. For what you and Abby saying, yeah, go ahead, Dina.
Lots of I got man, it ain't enough time left on earth for all the stories I got. Woo child. Although
She ain't got tickle Jesus feet for
I ain't
us.
never I ain't never wanted to fight my daddy though, but I have told him about himself a few times and some words got heated. But it never got physical. But he know he was out in the streets and it wasn't right. But then again, everybody get different versions of their parents, especially if they have young parents.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um so then like okay, if they have young parents, right? So when they struggling when they're younger, then as they go on, they get better jobs, they get 401ks, they get insurance and whatnot. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody get different versions of they parents, and then when your parents have multiple relationships, and then you can look at one relationship and be like, "Oh, dang! When you was with my mama, you had to struggle, but he was hourly." At that time. You know what I'm saying? When he got with the other mama, he had elevated in life and now he's salary. So looks can be deceiving, so to
Interesting.
speak. And
Mm-hmm.
like I went to regular school. My last three siblings went to private school, but I
Oh,
know he didn't have as an adult now. I know when I was in school, he ain't had the money to pay for private school. But then as he elevated in life, he did have the money. So people just,
wow.
a lot of people don't understand, like, people get different levels of their parents, So maybe he grew as a parent later on in life, but from the way Nicole said it, maybe he was just like a workaholic because he didn't have a whole lot of time for them. Like, he was
Right.
there, but he wasn't there. So did you really miss out, or did you just need to have that father figure, which is a very valid statement. But sometimes it's just like that. Like, just because your daddy or your mama is in the home doesn't mean it was the best experience.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That, yeah, man, y'all broke that stuff down. Whew. I mean, because the experience that you guys have, as far as like the parents having different jobs, financially being different things. Because Abby, I'm pretty sure, because you said that, I know, even though you said that's not his biological, he had to take care of, or he was taking care of both of y'all. Was there like a, I'm trying to see, I can say this, just a similar story where she's saying that, like, maybe at the time her dad was not doing as well, but her siblings got a better, school education. I mean, or private school compared to what she went through. I was just curious because that's just, I'm intrigued.
No, no, because my parents were well off. My father had his doctorate. My mother has her master's. So it was never no lack. And even when my parents divorced and my mom was a single mom, still
Mhm.
was no lack. I never noticed. There was never a dip in quality of life for me as a child. I don't know what that little girl went through because we didn't grow up together.
Mm.
Because I was 15, 14, 15 when she got here. So who
Oh
knows what
wow.
happened? I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. It ain't none of my business. I don't know what happened to that little girl
Oh
in
Jesus
her life.
Christ.
There's nothing to do with me. My father
Mhm.
absolutely forgot he had other children when he went off with that woman and her baby and her other two kids.
Oh
So I
wow.
listen. I don't know. It wasn't until I was an adult and my father had to come back and apologize for the damage that he did that
Mm.
we finally was able to reconcile and get it back together. But yeah, I don't know what happened with that child. That had nothing to do. I don't what.
Wow. Mm.
I was teen mom. So I didn't nigga you can kick rocks with
Mm.
socks on. Like
Period.
we got into a physical like I know I
Mm.
could sworn I told y'all that we got into a physical altercation where I beat up both of them.
Wow.
Both
What
both
in the
my
hell?
both his the woman that he cheated on my mama with and eventually married and my father. We had a physical altercation in the middle of the street and I tried to kill that lady. And that's why I don't get into physical altercations now because of that altercation. Because I blacked out and I tried to kill her. I tried to
Wow.
push her face to the windshield of a car. Because who you playing with? Who you talking to? Who? Because she tried to get smart with my mom. My parents were. I'll never forget this. We were driving in a car, and they saw each other as we was going down the street from our old
Hmm.
house, and
Hmm.
so they pulled over because they had to have some conversation as people who are splitting up, what to do, where's your mama gonna go, what we're gonna do with the house, how are we gonna split this, do that. So they're standing outside of the two cars having the conversation about what needed to be done. I need this money from you for the kids to do X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, bloom, whatever, whatever. This bird brain decides to jump her stupid ass out the car and try to talk slick to my mama, talk about, oh, he don't want you, da 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 da.
Oh my
When I
God.
when I say my 14-year-old self jumped out the car like my name was Superman
Oh my
and pres-
God.
and proceeded to beat the
Oh
dog
my
piss out that woman
Oh
in the
my
middle
God.
of the street.
Jesus.
Like I went to a, you know how they say this. You watch enough true crime and serial killer shit, where the killers be like there was a white space and you don't hear no noise, and that's
Oh
where they
yeah.
go when they.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's where I went, and I was so enraged and so angry, and so, I was trying to kill that lady. I scared myself. And that's why I don't get. I try to avoid physical
Right.
altercations to this day, because I know if I get too far gone, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Because I
But see,
hurt that person
that's
and
the
I
thing
meant it,
about it.
and I'm
That's
okay
your
with it.
parent. That's your mama. See the thing about it, I think
Like my
because
uncle was coming down the street and he saw me fighting. He had to turn around and come and get me
I'm sure he
before the
did.
cops came.
But the thing
Cause
about
I
people
was trying
thinking
to
you
kill
your
that woman.
kid, they
And
they
when
don't
my
think you're
daddy
gonna do
tried to
nothing.
pull me off of her, I turned around and bopped him one in the face and broke
Oh
his
God,
glasses. Get
I
off
don't
of
think I
me.
would did that. I ain't gonna front. My dad was crazy.
Cause
But
I'm
what I'm
mad at you
saying,
too.
you were 14, right? But see, the
Yes.
thing about people thinking that you were 14, 15, that you don't have that kind of thing. Because I can remember at 8 when someone trying to get at my dad, a woman, they had to hold me back. I was a child. I was gonna beat that grown woman up. So what I'm saying is people don't understand. I don't care about the age. If you think somebody's
Mm-mm.
in danger, that's your parent, please. They didn't want to take these places. I'm saying I'm right there with Ed. I ain't gonna front. At 14, oh baby. At
I
that
will
age
take
where I
you to the
was,
upper room.
woo, Jesus Christ.
Don't
Oh
do it to
Lord.
yourself.
Ah,
Man,
Lord.
let me tell you, I had to beat up my daddy's wife at
Oh God.
17. And
Jesus.
I whooped her ass from the kitchen to the
And it's to
bedroom
this
to
day
the
why I
bathroom
listen.
to
That's
the
why I try
living
not to
room.
fight with people.
And
I'm very much a, okay.
mm-mm,
You got it. Don't listen. There's a certain few things that'll pull a hair trigger for me, and that's my mama and my kids. And now
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
homicidal about my child. If you even look at my grandchildren wrong, I'm going to jail. And don't even care.
I'm scared to have grandkids because I already know myself very well, baby. I would go on torment like what my mama do for my kids. I would know I get locked up with the quickness, baby. It would immediately react, not thinking about who watching, don't care. I will snatch you up like it ain't nothing. You will not see it coming. If my babies are involved with anything, and my
I
children
keep
know they
bail
get on my
money
nerve.
on deck for that purpose alone.
Exactly. I have several
Mm-mm.
friends. You really be
We
got
got a
a
bail
bail file.
bondsman in the family.
Listen, because they know what it is. Because they know I'm finna come get her. Because she finna go off the. I'm sure am all the way off the ledge. That's where I'm finna go. Because I don't play them type of games. You play with yourself if that's what you want to do. Don't play with me like that.
Lord, Instagram that took down my the thing I was doing talking about say we were going against community guidelines.
Oh Lord, I'm so sorry, Instagram. I'm sorry,
We
They
Instagram.
show they show took it down.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Instagram.
That's the first time
Lord,
that's ever happened.
Lord, I done talked about Uncle Bubba slinging dick and everything else, and they done
No,
took it down,
they said
baby.
nothing about that. I know they talking about view affected. They were just talking about the fact that it went against violence and physical. Wow. Damn. And that was such a good live too. No, they didn't. Wow. Trash.
So if I get my mama, then what? Cause she
It
won't
is what
fuck
it
with you.
is.
So if I tell my mama, then what? Oh, what happened?
Oh well. Anyway, all
Okay,
right,
okay.
y'all. What y'all got going on? Before we do a prayer, before we do the prayer. Dina, what you got going on your channel? What you got going on your channel, Abby?
Huh?
Dina.
I just got waiting on
Wait,
Jocelyn.
say it
I know
again.
they
I
about
couldn't
to
hear you.
drop. I'm
What
waiting
you
on
say?
Tell her.
Jocelyn.
I don't know what she said. Who said something?
Can y'all not
Hello?
hear me?
I can
Can
hear
you
you,
hear me?
Dina. Abby, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
can
Yes.
hear.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
well,
The Dina's
well,
talking. Go
tell
ahead,
her
Dina.
when I'm stop talking. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm Jocelyn's about to come back because they about to drop the sneak peek of the trailer. Although we did figure out that it was gonna probably come after Baddies, and then I might even do the Erica Mena show because I know her show's about to come out too. So I'm
Okay.
all things Zeus over here,
Yes.
and then Love and Marriage, Huntsville with Confessions on Wednesdays, and then I'm still looking for some other shows. So and I think I want to dip into the Aunt T show on Zeus as well, because they be wilding over there. Tokyo
Girl,
Tommy
yes.
and Tia boy, it's a lot.
Yeah,
So
they were
that's what I
trending
got
all
going
week.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What you got, Miss Abby? What you got going on your channel?
Okay, well, later on this evening, me and the straight man are going to be reviewing the first episode of season one of Chasing Orlando at 7:10. And then on Wednesdays, me and Kiss My Cheeks TV are reviewing Love is Blind UK and whatever else we can find that tickles our fancy. Um, uh, Me and the straight man is also reviewing Lady in the Lake. We got to get to episode 3. I'm not sure when that's gonna happen. It's probably sometime early next week. But other than that, y'all can. I'm on the road, so um, y'all catch me when you catch me. Bless the Lord.
Wait a minute. So now I can't go live for one day on Instagram.
Oh,
Wow.
boo! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Girl, I have never I ain't even tripping about that.
I'm so
Instagram,
sorry.
they get on
My
my
God.
I only go live on Instagram when we do our live, so it'd be ready for next Saturday. That's fine. Anyway, so me, y'all know I'm interviewing the cast, the exit interviews for Big Brother. So I will be interviewing Brooklyn on Monday. Um Still doing my stuff behind the scene. I'm working on some stuff coming for the fall that I can't talk about, which is coming with other networks. It's really big too. So, and I'll still keep doing my commentary in between, and we're still doing Family Empire in Houston. And I gotta get my surgery on my tooth on September the 4th. I cannot wait for that. But anyway, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. Preacher, come on up here so we can because we obviously heathens today as it is,
Oh my
apparently.
God. Oh my
So
God. Okay. If our hearts and minds are clear. Now unto him that is able to keep us from falling and beat niggas up and going to jail. God, we just thank and praise you for all that you are and all that you do, dear God. We praise for the Bradenton family. God, keep them knitted and close together. Order their steps and allow them to continue to be in the purpose that you have set for them. Dear God, allow me and my sisters to have a good week. Dear God, let us not be frustrated with whatever is thrown in our paths and be able to thank you in all things that happen. And if you do, these things will be so careful to give your name the glory and the honor that you deserve. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen.
all right. Well, I will say we're not violent people and we don't promote violence over here. I will say that. Um,
I
but
am.
but if I have to defend myself, I will. But what I'm saying is as far as her being hurt and upset with her daddy, everybody can be hurt and upset and can just, express themselves and be still have to be held back because it's gonna get, upset and crazy or whatever, but not necessarily violent. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I will Lord Jesus Christ. We're gonna twerk our way up out of here. Bye.